make six figures in my private practice. My mindset around money is leveraging debt to gain assets. Basically, I no longer carry the shame and the guilt that comes with it. What's up, you guys? My name is Sharia, and I have been on YouTube since 2009. I feel like this is maybe my fifth or sixth time getting off of YouTube, getting back on YouTube. I feel like I'm here to stay only because I'm a little more confident about making money behind content creation, one. And then two, my intentions or my why is no longer focused on the money that can be made on YouTube. The content is shifting because I am building my dream midlife. And business. So I want to just hop right in with the facts. I'm 43. I am married. I have 5 kids, 1 kid that is still living in the home. He is 13. The rest of my kids are 19, 20, 21, and then 26. So I am transitioning into becoming an empty nester. I own my own private practice. I still work a full-time overnight triage counselor position. I am still trying to build wealth. I am still in 6-figure student loan debt, but I'm currently paying that off. And I not only have a private practice, but my husband and I have a rental type of business where he is flipping and buying and holding properties. So we kind of work together in that business as well. Those are the facts. When I talk about I talk about building or designing my dream midlife because I'm in my 40s. But I'm not quite sure what that looks like. I know that there are some things, since we are just coming out of 2025, that I did not like about 2025 that have still continued into 2026 that I am hoping to change. And I want my dream life. Before, I felt like my dream life was centered around making a certain amount of money and living a certain type of lifestyle that was very materialistic. I'm not gonna lie, I still like luxury things, but I'm more into creating a life that gives me a feeling that is sustainable. Not talking about like always being happy, but always being at peace. I feel like I have been in survival mode for a long time. I feel like my nervous system is dysregulated and I'm ready to kind of slow down and build those luxuries that you can't necessarily buy from the store. First I want to talk about money before I get into exactly what my dream life is or isn't. My attitude about money has shifted. I no longer am carrying the restrictions and the limitations that I was placing on myself because I was in debt. I feel like while I was on my debt-free journey, I was very goal-oriented, so focused, hyper-focused even on accomplishing these debt milestones that I didn't stay in the now. I just moved on to the next. And I've shifted my mindset around debt specifically. I no longer carry the shame and the guilt that comes with it. I did have to use debt to get my degree. My degree as a licensed clinical social worker is very lucrative. I do make 6 figures in my private practice, and I make about $90K working overnight. So I look at debt. My mindset around money is leveraging debt to gain assets. Now, even though I shifted to leveraging debt, I do still want to eliminate some debt, but it is because I want to be able to leverage different debt to buy more assets. So we do eventually want to buy an apartment complex, and I feel like with the mortgages that we already have on our credit, the student loan just makes our DTI really high. But I don't want to go too far into the money mindset or the money part of it. But it does still play a dream in my luxury life, financial freedom specifically. I want security. I want to be financially free enough to be able to take risk in my business, in both businesses, to grow and scale. And that is all of the clarity I have around money and how it plays in my dream life and business. As far as the dream life, I would love for it to be, like I said, a feeling of calmness and slowness and intentionality where I'm living in the moment. I'm actually in the moment. I'm no longer surviving or trying to figure stuff out or so worried about the future. I just want to like really slow down and enjoy the season that I'm in, especially with this last child in the home. So slowing down, not working overnight because I do need my rest, and focusing on my health, being able to, prepare meals and be health conscious and buy quality foods and prepare them and have that, structure in the day. I love to travel and I want to keep that incorporated into my life. When it comes to my business, I'm no longer focused on the number or the amount of money my business can make. I definitely think that is a plus, but I'm focusing on the impact. Same with my YouTube channel and all of my content platforms. It's about the impact. I want to be able to inspire other women of color, Black women, to go after their goals earlier in life by avoiding the mistakes that I made where I am in life. When I first started to decide to pivot into this direction with this type of content, I was really hesitant because I felt like I didn't see other midlife women who were designing their life that looked like me. I feel like I see more 50-year-olds and I love that, but I don't see anybody in their 40s, and I think it may be because the expectation is that in our 40s is already together. So I was hesitant to shift into this type of content. It's not so much about my life being together. It's about me having the confidence to do the things and play by the rules that I have made up and no longer by the rules that society says I should be following. I want to grow up more spiritual. I want to grow deeper in my faith, and I want to be more impactful in my church. And then, I want to grow closer to my spouse. I want us to have a solid foundation for when there are no more distractions such as work and children. And so, because as a therapist, I've seen that break down some marriages. And then when it comes to my business, I want to grow and scale that, not for the money again, but for the impact. I love cultivating social workers. I love encouraging other clinicians to go into private practice and build a business that supports the life that they want to live. But I also want to speak. I want to host retreats, encouraging specifically women of color to release the strong Black woman narrative, to release over productivity, to release the attachment of productivity and worth, and rest, and be okay with resting and being okay with being judged for resting and things of that nature, to establish boundaries, enforce and establish boundaries that protect their mental health and their well-being, and despite the judgment that you'll get and the pushback that you'll get for it. So I want to inspire women of color to do that as well. I also want to share the mistakes that I made in my 20s and 30s, because I do also work with the Gen Z population, and I want them to recognize that society says you should have it all figured out at 20 or 21, or by the time you graduate from college, if that's what you decide to do, or by the time you graduate from high school, if you decide not to go to college. But I'm 43 and I'm still figuring it out. And that's why you have so many career changes late in life, because they realize, I don't know if that's really what I wanted to do. And I want to send the message that that's okay. There's nothing, I tell my kids this, and I have to remind myself this all the time. There's nothing in life that you can't get back but time. So, I want to share all of this in my building my dream midlife and business in real time, one intention at a time. So what you can expect from this channel is weekly vlogs, talking head videos, sharing my life, again, creating it in real time. It will incorporate all of the components of my life, being a mom, being a business owner, being a co-business owner with my spouse. Maybe even my spouse will be on camera here and there. He's not really big into social media, but he is supportive of what I'm doing. And then, just some, because I'm a therapist, bringing some things that I feel like may be valuable to this audience that I currently, help women work through and help young adults work through from our sessions. So it'll be all of that, the real behind the scenes of building a business, growing and scaling a business. The business is already built, but not my husband's. Well, his real estate business is built too. And then like self-care in real time, what that looks like and how I am incorporating that in real time in my life. I hope that you stay around for the journey. The goal is to have life looking how I envision it for me in the 5 years that I still have this young child in the home. Like I said, he's 13, and at 18 he'll either go off to college or still be home or move in with a sibling or something like that. But I want to be able to share, me building the life, this dream life in real time over here. And again, it does encompass still budgeting content, just from a different perspective and a different mindset. Self-care, lifestyle, midlife, all of the components of all of that. Marriage, being in a business with your spouse, all of that. So you can follow me here. You can follow me on TikTok. I have 2 TikToks. They'll be linked in the description box below. One is specifically around being a clinician in private practice. And then the other one is more about the lifestyle that heavily aligns with the content on this channel. Also have 2 Instagrams. Same thing. One is specifically for the population that I serve, ambitious millennial moms of color who are overwhelmed, overworked, depressed, and or anxious. And then the Gen Z population, young adults, finding it challenging to navigate young adulthood. And then I have the therapy business, private practice over there as a coaching consultant to other clinicians. So feel free to follow me on all of those platforms. And if you have not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.